hello there. It's Paul Mash TV time again. Thank you so much for joining us. We got another great interview coming up shortly. But if you haven't yet, go ahead and click that subscribe button and the bell below you there. And anytime a new episode comes your way, obviously you'll be notified. And if you'd like to leave a comment on the comment section below, well, we'd love to hear from you there. And we're on Facebook, of course, facebook.com/Paul Mash TV. And you can follow us there, send us an inbox, and even comment the things there. And also, you can email us, paulmashtv, all one word, at gmail.com. And if you're a band or a solo artist that's interested in being on a show, go ahead and email us and we'll show you how to do that. But we love fan mail as well, so if you're just simply a fan, just send us a letter and we'll get back to you. And all this will be recapped at the closing credits at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. From Dillard, Georgia today, we have Tom Proctor. He's a very awesome artist, and I know you're going to love the song at the end. And we're going to get to that in a second, but as always, we have a quick word from Galtar, the guitar made specifically for a woman. So don't go away, we'll be right back right after this.
Ready in 5.
Darling, when nothing else seems to match up. Galtar, the musical apparel that fits any outfit. Galtar, bringing heaven to earth, one gal at a time. GaltarHeaven.com.
All right, well, we're back from commercial, and with us from Dillard, Georgia today, we have Tom Proctor with us today. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me on here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, Tom. Glad to see you today. How did it all begin for you as far as being an artist goes? I mean, you know, everybody has their own story. We'd love to hear your story.
Well, I started out as a kid playing on an out-of-tune Mickey Mouse guitar for my grandmother that had cancer. And she loved to hear me play that out-of-tune guitar and sing off key and make up songs that went like, I love my grandma and she's going to get better and live forever. And grandma was a seer, not a psychic, but a true seer, as in talked to dead people and told fortunes. And she told me, if you will just sing and make songs, make up songs, you won't be poor anymore, because we, you know, didn't have a lot of money anyway. And so my brother already played guitar. We tried to put a band together, and I played the drums and was singing from behind the drum set. But I found out I was deathly allergic to cigarette smoke, so playing in the bars was not an option. My grandmother, of course, finally passed from cancer. And then I decided pretty much that was the first time one of her vision was wrong. I wasn't meant to do music, because I literally had a throw up bucket back by the drum set. I just couldn't do it. And then I went into the movie industry, did a lot of acting and stuff like that, and won a guitar and an arm wrestle. And then I had a terrible accident that put me out of work, and I was just basically playing the guitar for therapy. Their guitars are really good therapy, in my opinion, for anyone. And a guy talked me into going and singing on the streets in New Orleans. I'm actually a Marine veteran, played lead guitar. He said, man, come play with me. You sing. We'll make a lot of money. And I said, yeah, but you do heavy metal and I do country. I don't think it's going to work. But we got together and played, and he'd do heavy metal leads to my country music, and people loved it. Made really good money. Then guys from a band that was playing the blues houses come and heard me, and he said, dude, you got a really good voice. Our singer's down. Can you learn these songs and fill in 3 days? It was 4 sets of songs. And I said, yeah, I know most of them. You know, I'm familiar with them. I'll learn those songs and we'll go fill in. And I thought, oh man, it's going to be the old smoke scene. But everybody says, you're playing the House of Blues. You got to do it. You're playing the House of Blues. And I went in and saw no cigarette smoke. And I said, why is no one smoking? Federal law, no smoking in public places. And you could not wipe the smile off of my face with a bulldozer blade. I thought, I'm back. I can work my way through the club scene, no smoking. I'm back. I can be in a band. And that's what started me back doing the band thing and trying to pull it together.
Okay, well that's a great story. I'm glad you found music in your life. Hopefully, you'll have many years ahead of you.
I hope so.
What were some of the influences that you grew up with, like on the mainstream side of things?
Definitely Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, Marshall Tucker, Charlie Daniels. As a matter of fact, when I was drumming, we were playing in Park City, Utah at a club, and we were playing Simple Man by Charlie Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
I always made this joke because I related so much to that song. I said, yeah, I would have wrote this song, but that bugger Charlie Daniels stole it from me. He stole it from me because he wrote it before I could. But he knew I was going to write it. He just jumped in and stole that song, and made a big joke like that. Turned out he was in the audience. He come up to me after. He said, so I stole your song. And I said, oh, man. Unfortunately, he had a sense of humor about it. And he said, I'm going to give you some advice. He says, I watch you. He says, you're definitely an entertainer, but you got to come out from behind that drum set. He says, if you want to hold the crowd, get out from behind that drum set.
Okay, well, yeah, those are some great bands there. You mentioned Charlie Daniels, like you say, Chris Christopherson, and Johnny Cash. All those are great bands, and I can definitely see your sound in those too. After watching this video, we'll be showing in a couple minutes here. They may want to download more of your music and follow on social media. Maybe even if you have a website, maybe you want to tell people about that. The list goes on. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, my website is at tomproctorband.com. All social media is at Tom Proctor. My songs are on Spotify, Apple, Google Play, the standard medias. I've got 15 songs that I've released.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got another 17 that are finished recorded but haven't been released yet, because I'm trying to release each one with a music video. And that slows you down and gets kind of costly, and so that's one of the main things. And you will hear a lot, like in the song God Save Me, for instance, and Why Don't You Go Home? Everybody says, well, that's across of the Doors and everything like this. Because on top of growing up listening to Johnny Cash and all that, I also played in a band that I was a drummer, and I had a million drums up. I was having a secret contest with Neil Peart to see who had the most drums. And since he didn't know we were having a contest, I of course won. But so I did Rush, a lot of Rush, Foreigner, Point Blank, even Kiss, Beth, and I Was Made for Loving You. Some of those songs there we did Rocky Mountain Way, and a funny another experience. I drumming, doing a lot of Rolling Stones and such. But just recently, when I was back on the West Coast, a bunch of guys come and said, again, can you come be our singer? We got these gigs we got to fulfill. And I said, you're an AC/DC tribute band. I know, but we got to do these gigs. I said, it's in your voice range. I said, you don't understand. To be a tribute band, you can't just be in the voice range. You got to sound like them, look like them, act like them, and it ain't never gonna happen. I said, first off, y'all don't look like you. Y'all look more like a bunch of mini ZZ Top, because all of them, I don't think either one of them was. None of them in the band was over 5'2". They had long straight hair, long beards. So I went and did the gigs with them, and everybody said, "Oh my gosh, it's like a Southern rock version of AC/DC." Because it was. And then the guys afterwards, dude, we want you to be in our band. Or we want to be the Tom Proctor band. I said I'd have to change the name of it to Chewbacca and the Ewoks. Because but so I have a definite love of several types of music, but Chris Christopherson, because his songs, like my songs, are all story, Coward of the County. No, that was Kenny Rogers, another hero. But Chris Christopherson, Silver Tongue Devil, and he's a storyteller. Johnny Cash, a storyteller. I feel like Johnny Cash is like the first true rap artist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Boy Named Sue, if that ain't rapping, I don't know what it is. Hit him hard right between the eyes, and he went down, but to my surprise, come up with a knife and cut off a piece of my ear. So I have a definite love of multiple types of music. The only type of music I cannot handle is the screaming death metal and rap that is vulgar and demeaning to women, especially. Because in real life, if you talk like that, we are going to fight. And so when that music comes off of dirty bit, it don't set well with me. I try to be open and diverse. We did a concert in Arizona. They said, we want to bring in a rap artist, have rap and you and everything like this. And I said, okay. Well, a good bunch of my following, not that I'm a religious man or anything like this. I do feel like I've had a lot of help from God and influence in my songs. I mean, I dream my songs and wake up and play them. That ain't that. I'm not that talented, so I have to just assume that God's helping me for some reason that I don't know. But this rap artist, there was his crowd, my crowd. Where it went wrong he got up there saying slander about your mother, slander about your sister, kill your brother, kill this, do this, do that, and things like that I won't even say. And then at the end of this, everybody was looking like, what? But where it went south was at the end of the thing. He goes like this, oh, my talented Jesus. Yeah. I had to, over the mic, tell people, regardless, we don't have violence at my gigs. And regardless, everybody's entitled to what they believe.
Right.
But calm down, I'm coming on right now. And I just kicked on the music. And that song, In Your Loving Arms, was the first thing I started with, because it's a good song. And come right after that with I Got You, things that are upbeat. I love my woman type song in a respectable way. I tried to calm that down.
Okay, well, everybody go to those streaming sites he mentioned at his website, TomProctorBand.com, and on the social media sites and all that. I know he would love you for that, and get his music. And you just mentioned In My Loving Arms. Is there a story behind that song?
Yes, there is. My lovely wife that we met recently during my dad's passing. I was going there to take care of my dad, and I met her. My wife and I have only been together for 4 years. And I've been a guy that always going to, even when I was married before, I go to a movie, I go on a movie set, I go touring. When I leave town, it's like, okay, yeah, see you when I get back. But every time I pulled away from her house without her, I felt like I was going the wrong direction. Mm-hmm. And no matter what, it just took forever. All the white lines, stop signs, and county lines going away from her made me sad, because I know they didn't take me home. And when I'd be on the way back, I knew I was where I needed to be. And so when I did my second two albums and recorded that song, here she just had a full-on knee replacement because she's we're not young people. I mean, I am, and she had a full-on knee replacement. Yet I made a bed in the back of my 4Runner, and she laid back there and went on the tour with me. And so I didn't feel like I was going the wrong way.
Well,
that's about her.
Yeah, it is a great song too. I've heard it a couple times, and I know everyone out there is ready to hear it. And before we get into that, I want to thank you so much for being on the show today, Tom. Come back anytime you want to plug something new. Maybe we'll have you back on.
Well, I sure appreciate it. I appreciate it, and I'd love to come back.
Okay, well, here it is, In My Loving Arms by Tom Proctor, and it begins right now.
White lines, the stop signs, too damn many county lines, and none of these signs take me home. Who's to blame? God pick your name. All I know, it's a crying shame if we let this love go. And girl, I need you in my loving arms each and every night. Oh yeah. And if I have you in my loving arms, then everything else is alright. Hot steaks, a cold beer, highway finally brought me here. In your love where I belong.
Where I belong.
You wait at the gate all the time I anticipate just being in those loving arms. And girl, I need you in my loving arms each and every night. Oh yeah. And if I have you in my loving arms, then everything else is alright. And girl, I need you in my loving arms each and every night. Oh yeah. And if I have you in my loving arms, then everything else is alright. Another song, I'll be gone. That's a highway calling me home. That's a crazy life I've chosen. Your eyes start to cry all the time my arms open wide. 'Cause I've been way, way too